From Nutrien Ag Solutions, I'm Senior Meteorologist Andrew Pritchard with your Canadian Prairie weather story for Tuesday, June 20th, 2023, coming to you a day late. Yesterday was the Juneteenth holiday here in the U.S., so we took the day off, and I am rolling my Canadian content over to Tuesday for you all. We got plenty to talk about. It's been a pretty active last week. A lot of heavy rain across Alberta, some severe weather, and some very warm temperatures across the eastern Prairie this morning. And we got some showers and storms lifting into parts of southeastern Saskatchewan and southern Manitoba this morning. That is all associated with this big upper level low that continues to kind of spin across the region. So we've got this upper level support right here, shifting eastward across the Prairie, and that is where the heavier rain potential is going to be over the next 3 or 4 days. Again, looking at the radar here early Tuesday morning. If you're watching this a little later in the day on Tuesday, take an updated look at your radar. But this is where we've got the activity today, and this is about where we expect the activity to continue through the afternoon and into the evening. And then we do have the chance for some severe weather across southern Manitoba as we get into the afternoon as well. Now, with all of the rainfall, we've seen a noticeable reduction in the fire danger across portions of northern Alberta into northern Saskatchewan. We've still got some dryness across southeastern portions of southeastern Alberta into southwestern portions of Saskatchewan there, where we didn't quite have so much of the heavy rain, but really a big improvement across much of the Prairie provinces here in just the last 7 days, thanks in part to some persistent heavy rainfall. Now, we're pivoting from the fire risk to the severe thunderstorm risk today. And again, I mentioned we do have a high risk. That's level 3 out of 4 on the scale there across central and southern portions of Manitoba. Brandon, Winnipeg, you're in that area. Look for some gusty winds, maybe some large hail over an inch in diameter, and cannot rule out the potential for a tornado or two in this area as well as we head through, again, the afternoon and evening hours on Tuesday. The reason for that? Well, we've got all sorts of warm and humid, unstable air in place across the region. Those temperatures here on Tuesday morning already in the middle 20s. So as we warm up into the lower to middle 30s this afternoon, that atmosphere is going to be ready to pop. And as this upper level wave and the associated front moves into that volatile air mass, we do expect to see scattered, strong to severe thunderstorms developing not just across Manitoba, but down into portions of the northern plains, the upper Midwest, as well as you head south of the 49th. Again, the reason for that, we've got a lot of instability here. Again, a warm and volatile air mass with a strong area of low pressure, a strong upper level low, bringing these very fast jet stream winds over the top. So there's that combination of an unstable air mass with the upper level support and the wind shear to create, an outbreak of some strong to severe storms. As we put this into motion, we see this trough takes its time. It doesn't get out of here till Thursday or Friday. Then we do see a break in the active pattern, some weaker, more disorganized jet stream flow as we head into the weekend and early next week. That's going to lead to a period of warmer temperatures across the west where we're quite cool right now and a bit of a break in the more widespread heavy precipitation. And I'm going to go through time with this here. As we get to the end of this animation, we see another low approaching from the west, and that I expect to bring in another chance for more widespread, persistent rain across the Prairie. So it does look like a temporary drying trend late this week into the weekend, but there is more in the way of shower and thunderstorm activity in the forecast here across the Prairie. So like I said, I want to just kind of time this out for you over the next 10 days, just kind of give you the overall pattern here and how things will be evolving. Again, as I mentioned, over the next 48 hours or so, we'll keep the chance for showers and thunderstorms in place across southeastern Saskatchewan into central and southern Manitoba. We could see a renewed chance for some severe weather tomorrow across this region with another little impulse embedded within that trough. You see how there's multiple waves here. This one that's kind of moving through this morning. Let me take this drawing off. This is the one that is moving through this morning. This is the wave that moves through in the afternoon, giving us the chance for some severe weather. And then as we head into Wednesday, you see another wave coming in here. So the trough, the main trough is not really moving much, but we've got these little individual disturbances that are pivoting around the base of the trough and lifting into the Prairie, impacting the same areas over the next 48 to 72 hours. So again, that's why the rain chance is greatest in the east through the next couple of days. And then as we get into the end of the week and the weekend, here's what we have as we get into kind of Saturday, Sunday, June 24th and 25th. More disorganized, no storm systems here across the Prairie. We're not going to be seeing those, organized showers and storms. Instead, we've got a wave kind of taking a southerly trajectory here into the Midwest U.S. We desperately need some rainfall down here. We're going on, 2 months without measurable rainfall across parts of the Midwest during a time when we are typically very rainy, very stormy, and the crops here are entering a vulnerable position. So you have to kind of excuse me here as I root for this particular wave to dive south of the prairie, bring us some rain here in the central U.S., but as I kind of stop talking about the Midwest, refocus my brain here on the prairie, this is what I'm talking about as we get into next week. Now we're talking Wednesday of next week, around June 27th, June 28th, that next chance for a run of active wet conditions across the prairie. So here's your next 2 weeks, using the European ensemble model, week 1 and then week 2 on the left. Week 1, again, much of the energy focused on the eastern parts of the prairie. That makes sense as this trough takes its time getting out of here, and then we shut things down back over the back half of the week. As we move into week 2, this is when that next run of jet stream flow makes its way in across the prairie. Now, I've got low confidence in any specifics here, but what you do see as you look at the week 2 precipitation forecast, we start to bring back in average to wetter than average conditions across a big chunk of the prairie. So let's watch this one. As we get into next week, our Monday video may be talking about another run of active conditions across the prairie. Now let's kind of wrap it up by taking a look at some specifics here. This is a little bit of a longer update, but just looking at the next 3 days, timing this out, multiple chances for showers and storms in the east. This is the morning activity you see lifting out of here Tuesday morning. As we get into the afternoon and evening hours, again, that volatile air mass is going to erupt in the form of, isolated to scattered showers and storms becoming more widespread. As we head into the overnight, this will be midnight on Tuesday night. As we kind of talk about the late Wednesday evening, again, these are the storms we expect to become strong to severe. As you make your way further west, still the chance for some scattered shower activity, but not talking about severe weather as we make your way back toward Alberta today. And then as we head into Wednesday afternoon, we kind of see the same thing happen here. We've got another volatile air mass in place across the northern plains, lifting into the prairie, another wave kind of pivoting around the base of that trough. So you can't rule out, as we head through late Wednesday into Thursday, more in the way of showers and storms across this region, maybe some severe storms as well before we quiet down heading into the weekend. So total precipitation between Tuesday morning and Friday afternoon. So taking us through June 23rd midday. Again, one or more rounds of showers and storms across southeastern Saskatchewan into southern Manitoba. Scattered rain showers here from central and southern Alberta into northern Saskatchewan. So not severe weather here, but still the opportunity to pick up maybe half an inch to an inch as you make your way toward the Calgary area, closer to the Front Range. And then comparing the European over the next 3 days on the left to the European model over the next 10 days on the right. You see the difference here. Again, strong showers and storms across this region, southeast Saskatchewan, southern Manitoba over the next few days. Scattered rain showers across this region over the next 3 to 4 days. Pretty dry in between there. Southern Saskatchewan into central Manitoba. You're probably about done as far as measurable rainfall goes through the next few days. And then as we talk about adding in the weekend and much of next week, you start to just see kind of broadly, it gets wetter across the whole prairie. We start to bring in those chances for scattered showers and storms. This European operational model is certainly not going to have the specifics pinned down 10 days into the future, but we can kind of see that pattern continuing to move right along and not getting stuck in one pattern or another here, whether it be wet or dry. So let's look then at the European model over the next 10 days, timing it all out. Just let it play here, and you can see the pattern unfold. We go from stormy and active, pretty quiet over the weekend, back to stormy and active as we get into next week. I've already kind of covered in detail what I've got confidence in, and that is what we've got through Friday, and then the dryness this weekend. So we won't get too caught up in the specifics here with this particular model run, but just as we kind of scroll through here is your Tuesday, this is your Wednesday, this is your Thursday. Storm systems moving east. We really start to quiet down as we get into Friday. Shower and storm activity most numerous south of the prairie now as we get into the weekend. This is your Saturday. This is your Sunday. And then now as we get into next week, we're going to start to bring those showers and storms back in. So just verbatim, just humoring the model here and acting like it's got it all figured out. We would see another frontal boundary sinking into the region early next week, around Monday, Tuesday, June 26th and 27th. And then after we do that, we bring in another round of jet stream flow to kind of interact with that boundary, giving us the chance for daily showers and storms across the region as we go into the week of June 26th through June 30th. As we look at the European ensemble model, the next week, the probability of picking up 1 inch or more of total rainfall, where is that heaviest or where is that most likely? Of course, we've been hitting it over and over in this video. Southeast Saskatchewan, central and southern Manitoba, you're going to be the wet spot over the next 3 to 4 days. You could see some heavier rain stacking up here across some of the higher elevations, getting toward the Front Range in western and kind of southwestern portions of Alberta. Pretty big dry void here where maybe not entirely dry, but not looking at anything in the way of heavy precipitation over the next 5 to 7 days. Temperatures, we've been quite cool in the west. We're going to broadly just see things kind of return to, maybe 3 to 5 degrees C warmer than average as we head through much of next week, with some broad ridging, some kind of disorganized jet stream flow overhead. Look for a mild and quiet weekend and beginning to early next week. You can see that here, Calgary 9 for the high today. We'll be back in the mid-20s by the weekend. Similar look here in Edmonton. A little bit less drastic here in Saskatoon. We're a little warmer today, but we'll still be climbing back up to the mid-20s for the weekend. Very similar in Regina. And then we take the opposite approach here. 34 today with that volatile air mass in place. The chance for some scattered strong to severe thunderstorms. And then as we head into the weekend, again, broadly in the middle 20s. So just about everyone here headed toward a dry weekend with afternoon high temperatures in the middle 20s. And that is after a very stormy finish to this week across eastern parts of the Prairie. As we head into week 2, June 26th through June 30th, we might be talking about the return of scattered to maybe widespread chances for showers and thunderstorms across the Prairie. Have a great Tuesday. We'll talk to you next Monday.